It's not confidence that you know what to do. It's actually confidence that you don't know what to do, but you can learn it. And I think as adults, especially people that are, that are older, and I'm talking about just even out of their 20s or even mid 20s, something happens in our adulthood. Definitely when you get into your 30s plus, I meet a lot of folks and they're like, get stuck in the things that they're doing and they forgot how to learn.
If you can stay humble and vulnerable, right? But you can also show up in confidence as to who you are and what you believe you're capable of. You could be a complete noob in some area or not know something and still be confident in your ability to close the gap and go and figure it out.
Learn.
So confidence, right, is also a big piece in saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't really deserve to be in this room yet because these guys are all worth $100 million and she's, got this empire and I don't really have none of that. But I'm confident that by being in this room, I am capable of learning all the stuff that they've learned if I show up in a humble way, I work my butt off, right? And that I can really get those same results too. I've always believed in myself enough to say, I don't care if somebody else is going to bet on me or not, I'm always going to choose to bet on that 10 out of 10 times. And if you really don't believe that as an entrepreneur or just somebody that wants the most rich, happy, fulfilling life, you're never going to get that. You have to bet on yourself. You have to trust and believe that you are capable of unlocking whatever you want if you were willing to put in the discipline and the work consistently over an extended period of time. If you do those things, it's almost impossible not to unlock milestones and make whatever ceiling was, hanging over your head at one season of your life, the new floor that's just the norm for you. But if you don't believe in that and you don't have that confidence in yourself, you're ultimately going to be in a scarcity and really just on your heels type of mindset mentality for your entire life. So if you can be humble, show up with humility at all times, right? And one of my early mentors always said, hey, never read your own press clippings. I don't care how many deals you do, how much money you make. If you show up humble every single day, if you show up confident, the second piece to that and the third piece of this likability equation is if you are always looking to add value to people around you. If you're humble, confident, and always looking to add value, it just makes you, we all know those people where you're like, man, I really like that Steve guy. Every time I'm around him, he just makes me feel better. And because of X, Y, and Z, right? And so everybody's kind of got their own unique, skill sets and quirks and aspects to their personality and characteristics to who their identity is. And that's great, right? But if you can tie all of those amazing things about your uniqueness to being humble, confident, and always looking to add value, it's very hard not to like people that are like that. And that will open up a lot of doors and that will create a lot of opportunities to find individuals that go, man, that Matt guy, I like him. Let me invite him onto this call. Let me invite him to this mastermind. Let me, send him this investment opportunity. Whatever it is, right? If you can be that likable person and show up and execute when it matters, you're going to unlock and create some amazing opportunities that will bring so much richness, not just to your business, but to your life through the people that you surround yourself with.
It's 100% true. And I think I want to pick on that confidence word a bit more because I think there's confusion in that, confident in what you're doing. But what I, just hearing you and what I know too, adding all that up, it's like confidence to learn. The right to be confident to learn, because that's what gave you, like when you were in those rooms and you're like, I don't, like if we look at all of our, if you look at money or this or that, maybe you weren't at the same level as some of the people in the room. And that's happened to me many times. And that's probably why you and I are where we are, because I was constantly, that's the thing about Jim Rohn also said when he taught that the law of the five, he also said, be the smallest of the five. If you can, because if you're the teacher, it's fine to be a teacher sometimes. But if you're spending your time being the top of the five the whole time, then you're not going to continue to grow.
Yep.
And the reason that gives it the wherewithal and the confidence, going back to that word, is that, hey, I'm okay being the small one in the room. And I know that, hey, maybe if I'm around them long enough, I could be the big one. And then maybe I'll have to go find another room. And I'm lucky. I'm happy. I guess not lucky. I don't know why that came out, but because I really think actually luck is through opportunities are all over. So luck is just showing up. If you show up enough times, your luck is going to go up, if you want to even use that word. But ultimately, the reason I wanted to take a couple extra minutes to say, it's not confidence that you know what to do. It's actually confidence that you don't know what to do, but you can learn it. And I think as adults, especially people that are, that are older, and I'm talking about just even out of their 20s or even mid 20s, something happens in our adulthood. Definitely when you get into your 30s plus, I meet a lot of folks and they're like, get stuck in the things that they're doing and they forgot how to learn. And what I mean by that, they didn't necessarily totally forget how to learn, but what happens is we think we get good, we become an expert at one thing, or maybe you have a career and you're doing this one thing, and then you try to do something new and it takes a little bit of time and you're like, oh, I suck at this, I better stop. And they forgot that they fell down on their bike. They forgot that, who jumps on a bike and pedals right the first time? I'd love to meet that person. If someone could show me the person that got on a bike and rode the first time. No one does that. Everyone falls down. I think we have to remind ourselves that we fall down. And then the cool thing about what you're saying, Matt, is that when we can bring ourselves around other people, then guess what? We're going to ride the bike faster because they're going to give us the tips. They're going to tell us those things. But you have to have the confidence that you can learn. And I think even through some of my psychology learnings, not everyone believes they have the right to learn. It's sad. Like just as an example, I've been around people and that their parents were such achievers and they're so good that they even made their kids feel stupid. And so they grew up, and if they didn't do it perfect, they didn't do it. And that makes a failure to learn, because now you're like, if I can't do it the first time perfect, I'm not going to do it at all. And then you're just totally stalled. And so I guess I want to bring this up because this has popped up actually recently a little bit. And I just want people to understand confidence is not having to have it perfect. It's actually the confidence that you could actually, like you said, and you said this, Matt, just be you and be vulnerable and say, I don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah. I think part of that, right? Confidence and also courage are key to growth, in the sense that if you can be brave enough to suck at something new all over again, because like you said, at the beginning of me becoming a real estate investor, I didn't know anything about real estate investing. And now many people would consider me a real estate expert in terms of the broad stroke of what that word is, right? But then if you move me over into, when I bought my hotel in Lake Tahoe, I was at the bottom of the totem pole in the hospitality learning world because I had no clue how to run a hotel, right? Oh, I'm a great real estate investor, right? That could have prevented me from saying, you know what? I suck at this. I don't know anything new. And I know that I'm capable of learning it. Yeah. And therefore it's all right. Well, what do I got to do? How do I roll my sleeves up? And what path do I need to take in order to not suck? And then every time it's just that path to learning, right? Where you cross over thresholds and you become a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better until you don't suck anymore. And then you get kind of good and then you get great. And then all of a sudden, you've got 10, 20,000 hours of effort and execution into one thing. And now all of a sudden you're quote unquote that master at it. Right. And so I think if anything, it's just knowing what to suck at, right? And what things may be better leveraged and or surrounded by other people in your world that might be able to pick up and do the lift on those things, and where you should be doing the lifting yourself.
Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitano.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.